what makes it hard for you to declutter your things?
Good question.
Be brutally honest, because it's about other moms knowing why their teenagers don't want to come up here and do what you just did.
I mean, I personally think it's kind of hard because, like, I'm just kidding.
Hello and welcome to my home. If you're new here, my name is Karen and this is my daughter Yvonne. And today we're working on decluttering her closet. Woohoo! And then afterwards, I'm going to talk to you a little bit. I had a request about helicopter parenting and how to avoid all of that and to just help your kids reach their goals. And so we'll talk a little bit about that after we're done with the closet. Yeah. So basically we have two areas where the girls keep their clothes because their room's pretty tight for 3 people. So this is Yvonne's shelf right here. Then they have this closet, and although it looks like a big closet, they have storage on this side and the clothes are all here. So if you just take a little peek, you can see this is pretty tight. There's not a lot of room here to not be keeping any clothes that you don't need because it's tight. So we're going to start by taking out her clothes and she's going to go through them one by one and see what's staying and what's going. This video is part of the March Madness collab hosted by my dear friend Dee from Dee Lovely Life. There'll be so many other YouTubers. We'll all be decluttering and organizing, and I'll leave the full playlist in the description box below so that you can just keep on going with lots of decluttering motivation.
Okay, and that's it.
That's it for the closet? No, that's not very much in the closet.
Nope.
One of the things I saw recently on a video was, this was actually from Cass of Clutterbug, is if you have kids that they really don't want to declutter, then just hold the item up. You know, you go through each item and say, keep or get rid of, keep or get rid of, keep or get rid of. And she was saying that usually after a bit of time, even if they're saying keep, eventually there'll be something they want to get rid of, and then the momentum starts to build. So I don't usually have this problem with Yvonne. I mean, she knows what she wears and what she doesn't wear, so she's able to kind of go through this. She's 16 years old and pick out what she wants to donate and what she wants to keep. The other thing I do is if they do decide they want to take the clothes that they're getting rid of to a consignment store and they get some money for them, I let them keep that money. Obviously, if you had the kind of kid who was thinking, hey, I could just take that and then get money on it and then mom will buy me new clothes, that would obviously be a kid you'd be like, yeah, no, you can't have that money. But when somebody is really honest about what they'll wear, what they don't wear, it does give extra incentive if they know they might get a few dollars for it.
Okay, so this I'm getting rid of because that's kind of tight on me. And then this we can use for next year.
Okay, cool. So stuff you keep, you can put on your pillows. How about that? And hangers will be on the other side. Woos.
This is pretty much
Worn out. Why don't you put the hangers by Woozy?
Okay, this I'm keeping.
Yep.
This I'm gonna get rid of.
Why are you getting rid of that?
It's too small.
Yep.
This I'm also gonna get rid of. That's also small. It's also really small.
That one's small too?
Yep. And then these two I can keep.
It's okay if you don't wear it. Get rid of it. Someone wear it.
Yeah. This one I'll keep. Sorry, this one's really small. That we can get rid of.
All right.
This one we can keep.
Yep.
So
Cool.
these are all the get rid of.
All right.
And these are all to keep.
All right.
And then look at my hangers.
Woohoo! Of course, she has lots of support. This one, though, is totally sleeping on the job. We even have Tilly to come out and help, huh, Tilly?
Oh. Okay, and then I just have to put one more thing in there. Yep, done with that.
Right. So if you've been around my channel, you know that I am a big believer in don't try to take all your clothes out and go through them. And I think that's even more important for a teenager or a child than it is for an adult. You don't want a huge mess that they have to clean up. So we did her closet first. Now we're going to take her shelf where her clothes are. We're going to do it one box at a time. That way, if there's an interruption, if there's burnout, whatever happens, you don't have this huge mess to clean up.
Okay, so these are definitely keeping.
Yeah.
And also these. I don't really like these pants, so I'll get rid of them.
Yep. Oh, I thought they were cute.
Yeah. Okay, that'll keep.
Yep.
It's cute though, I don't really like that. I'll keep it.
I'll have to keep them.
And I'll keep
Look at Leo.
it. And then these I'll keep because these are my biker shorts. Oh my god. See?
Yep.
Okay, so we're done with one box and we can move on to the other.
Yep, why don't we put the stuff away in this
You'll
one?
have a huge job when you're done. Okay, I'm gonna get a copy of this one. Box number 2. Okay, moving on to box number 2. I don't know what that was in there.
Is this one of those makeup things you guys do like?
Oh yeah, I've never tried them.
Oh.
So yeah, this I'm keeping because I just got this year. I'm also keeping.
Those make good pajamas even if they're not
Yeah.
daytime wear. I'll be your cheerleader. Go, Yvonne, go!
Yeah, these I'm also keeping. You could just get rid of that part. I don't know. I didn't really wear this last year.
What is it for?
It's a bathing suit cover up.
Oh. You didn't wear your bathing suit, that's why. I'm just saying.
Am I doing this or are you?
Okay, sure. I'll sit over here.
I'm sure someone will appreciate it.
I'm holding on when everything's gone. I've gotta be strong. Confusion in my mind, no way to turn back time. My soul in need of remedy. Don't even know the enemy. When I feel out of touch, can't seem to get enough. Hiding away from everyone. I don't know where I'm coming from. I fail to see right in front of me. There's a way I know. Confusion in my mind, no way to turn back time. My soul in need of remedy. Don't even know the enemy. When I feel out of touch, can't seem to get enough.
Yep. So this one I'm gonna get rid of because it's also small on me. Also get rid of.
Yep.
This sweatshirt too. Can you put that in the socks, please? When we were doing this shirt, I'm gonna get rid of. This shirt I'll get rid of. This is Jetty's old. And then can you also put these with the socks? Yeah, those are for, you know.
Yeah, Christmas. Sure you don't want to get rid of them?
No, I want to keep those.
Okay.
I just forgot that I have those, and then this one I'm gonna get rid of. And then I'll also keep my Monopoly sweatpants.
You literally have.
I know. I think these are my
underwear.
Okay, well, we're done with that.
Yeah, then you can scoop that, put it in. All right, before I show you what she's getting rid of, which is actually a lot, she did a really good job. So, what makes it hard for you to declutter your things?
It's a good question.
Be brutally honest, because it's about other moms knowing why their teenagers don't want to come up here and do what you just did.
I mean, I personally think it's kind of hard because, like, how many years I've had these shirts, and, like, the shirts kind of hold, like, a certain memory, like, of things they did, like, whether it's, like, Fun Town or going on an adventure or something. Some example,
Yeah.
we did for Easter.
Yeah, that's true. We
Like,
made those for Easter.
2 years ago, we made these for Easter. So I was having a hard time getting rid of that, but
Okay.
I'm finally getting rid of it now.
So, do you ever feel like I'm trying to make you declutter things? Or let me put it another way.
Actually, since you asked that question, yes.
Yes. So, how does it feel when I'm trying to make you declutter? Does it make you go, oh, sure?
I mean, yes, but I'm also happy because the more I get rid of, the more clothes I get. Just the thought. So.
Yeah. How does it feel? Oh, there's Leo. He wasn't
Leo.
there. How does it feel? Do I ever try to get you to get rid of something you don't want to get rid of?
Yes.
Yes. And so, do you always get rid of everything that I want you to get rid of? No.
Mm-mm.
So, what advice do you have for teenagers who don't want to declutter? Do you have any advice?
Well, the more clothes you get rid of, the more clothes you get.
That's right. It just makes more room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you. So these are all the things she's getting rid of. That is quite a large pile. Yep. And actually, I'll be honest with you, sometimes when it comes to clothes, I have a really hard time with them letting go of clothes because I also know that the more they get rid of, we're going to have to replace those. So there's a lot of times when she might be saying, yeah, I want to get rid of the shirt. I'm like, why? What's wrong with it? And she's saying it's too small. And I'm like, no, I don't think it's too small. So that's something too. So it's hard on both ends. Something that I should have mentioned before, now that my youngest is 15, all of my girls have a clothing budget. So they know every 2 weeks when we get paid, there's a certain amount of money that goes into their clothing budget. I don't let them hold the money. We keep track of it on our calendar, whatever has been spent and whatever is left over. So when they want to buy something, they come to me and we do that. I do remind them, Easter's coming, you might want an Easter outfit. Summer's coming, you might want a new bathing suit, but all in all, I'm letting them handle that money. I'm finding they're much more attuned to sales now, and I am letting them kind of go through consequences if they spend too much on one thing and don't have enough for something else. So that's what we're doing right now, and it has really helped a lot. It also has felt like freedom to me. And now you can see how beautifully in control that area is. She has all of her socks and such there, shirts, and then pants in the back. And now there's more room in the closet as well. As you could see, Yvonne was really leading in that whole decluttering process. And of course, she's 16 years old. She's older now. But I was there more for moral support, helping her move the clothes around, that sort of thing. And she was agreeing to do the filming, which I really appreciated, so that you could see the whole process of how she was thinking through what she wanted to keep and what she wanted to get rid of. And of course, if you have kids, teenagers, and they're looking for some motivation, it might be a great video to show them, watch together, and then maybe you could do the same. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about helping your kids to make their own decisions, set their own goals, and then you're more there just as a moral support and advisor as they seek to accomplish their goals. And it's always so much more effective if it can be their goals. And we did get a letter that I wanted to read, or I got a letter in my email from Jeanette, and she is from she's Norwegian, so that's super exciting for me. I love how YouTube connects us from all over the world. She says, until I watched your video, I had never heard the expression helicopter parent before, and I've not come across anybody telling me letting the kids take responsibility like you do. Of course, I make my daughter take responsibility for her actions. She is 11, but I never considered making her responsible for more than that. I'm so curious, and I truly think Jesus made me watch that video. So that was a past video where I was talking about how I try not to be a helicopter parent. I love your videos, but questions and answers are normally not my thing, except this one. And then she goes on, you were very concerned about your English, Jeanette, and I just want to say that your English is excellent. Don't even give it another thought. And I so appreciate this letter. So what does it mean to be a helicopter parent? Basically, if you think of a helicopter, it can kind of hover, it can go up and over. And so many times we are not letting our kids make their own mistakes and form their own goals. And make their own decisions. And do I believe that kids should get to make all their own decisions? Absolutely not. Oh my goodness, that could be so dangerous for them. You know, we have to be there and be parenting them. But recently, my daughter-in-law sent a picture of my 3-year-old grandson making his own lunch for preschool. And he wasn't making a sandwich, but he was bringing all the components together in his little box. And really, it's about letting them make all the decisions they can make, letting them do all the things for themselves that they can do, because our job as parents is to train them for independence. And I have not always been successful with this. As a matter of fact, 16 years ago, when my older 3 were a lot younger, I think my oldest would have been like 13, 14 years old, and my youngest was like 9 at the time of the kids I had at that time. I blew 2 discs in my back. And I thought I was doing a good job of having them do chores around the house. But once I blew that disc, I realized there were so many chores I had not even trained them in. And I was flat on my back for like 3 months and working with a chiropractor to get me up and moving again. And it was a really hard time. And I had to kind of guide them from the bed. And of course my husband was there. He works from home. My mother was visiting. I had help at the time until she left, but I was really more directing them from the bed on how to do different chores because I needed more of their help. And it was at that time that I realized I wasn't really training them. I was having them do certain chores because it was easy and we weren't branching out and teaching them new things. Now, my kids today, my teenagers, they all can cook and they all can do their own laundry. You know, it was really a wake-up call at that time for me. Let's take, for example, homeschooling. I like to ask the kids, what are you interested to learn about, and form curriculum around things that they are anxious to learn about. And you're always going to have kids and they're like, I hate school, I hate reading, and nothing interests me. Well, then I'm going to pick it for you. And it might not be your favorite, but you're going to do it. And then you might have kids. I have a son, and when he was in high school, I asked him to pick out his literature, and he picked all the works of Dante. And still, that is one of his favorite writings of all time. He loves to reference it. He'll notice themes from that in different shows that we watch. And it was really a wonderful thing, and I would have never assigned that. And he actually had to be quite independent. I had him writing summaries on what he was reading and such. But it was a huge learning experience. And so learning goes so much better when they are taking charge. But does every kid do that? No. I have other kids that have shown no interest, and they're doing the whole, I'm ordering your grade level and this curriculum, and you're going to sit down and do it, because there was nothing for me to draw from. So that happens. Another one of my kids, my youngest daughter, wanted to try school, and so she is enrolled in school right now. She makes her own lunches, and I'm not bugging her about her homework. The expectation is this was your goal, and I'm there to assist you if you need help. And she does come to me from time to time needing help with a certain subject. But because it's her goal and she understands if it doesn't work, then we'll probably go back to homeschooling, she has the motivation to go ahead and do it, and to do well, because it was her goal to begin with. Would that work for all of my kids? No, it would absolutely not. So it's about knowing your own kids and what they can do. When it comes to chores around the house, I do think it's a great idea to train them in all of the chores, so that when they're a grown-up, they already know how to take care of their homes. I've known so many women and men who grew up not knowing how to cook, not knowing how to take care of a home. They're having to go to the internet to learn how to clean things, to learn how to take care of things, and I had to do that a lot too, because I wasn't interested when I was young. And I think the same is true for cooking. It's a good idea to have them cooking and experimenting, choosing recipes. When our kids or older kids were younger, we lived in a place where the ground was very fertile, and we grew a lot of our own vegetables. And I learned at that time that was a great way to get a picky eater eating vegetables. If he'd have put that seed in there and he was watering and he was harvesting, then he had more of a interest in actually eating what was grown. So I think it's important. You have to know your own kids. What works for my kids won't work for your kids. In fact, what works for my oldest doesn't work for my youngest. You know, I had kids where I was sitting right beside them at the table while they did their homeschooling. I've had other kids who were super independent, and they're all different. It's about knowing your own kids, but it is about letting them make as many decisions as they can possibly make, letting them take as much responsibility as they can handle, and keeping an eye on stress levels, knowing when to back up. But it's a good idea if they can set goals when they're young, make decisions when they're young, and learn that it's okay to make a bad decision, because you're going to learn from it. And if you're heading in one direction, you realize you're in the wrong direction, pivot. You pivot and you go and do something else. I really have to give my husband a lot of credit for this, because that was how his parents more raised him. And he wanted our kids to be able to make decisions. So when they were young, you know, shopping for clothes, choosing a hairstyle. And there's been times when a kid has chosen a hairstyle that they absolutely hate, and they were so miserable. But at least they got a chance to choose it, and then hair grows and you make a new decision next time. And as they flex those muscles of getting to make those decisions, I think it's going to make it easier for them as they get older to be independent and to be making decisions. Now, did that mean I was going to let them do whatever they wanted to do? No, absolutely not. And always there were boundaries that they were not able to cross. But at the same time, within those boundaries, I try to let them make as many decisions as they possibly can without getting themselves into too much trouble. But even still, you know, wouldn't it be better for them to get to make some mistakes while they're young and under the protection of your home than when they get out from under your home, then kind of going crazy with it because they've never had any of those powers before? So that's kind of how we've tried to lead. Now, when it comes to decluttering, I've made mistakes in the past where I have gone ahead and gotten rid of toys when my kids kind of weren't looking, or when I thought they had forgotten about those toys, and then when one asked about it, it was a kind of a bummer of a situation that I had gotten rid of things that they wanted. And so I think that I've grown over the years, and being an older mom, you know, I have a little bit more experience to bring to that table for my younger kids. But I've definitely made so many mistakes, and it's okay, you know, to back up and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and then to move forward. So I hope that's a help to you. And I hope that you remember, as always, that God loves you and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.